Coming up, what is being done to keep students on track to graduate? We look at advisement and registration at OCC.
Now, from the EMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is an ONTV update.
Good morning and welcome to ONTV Update. This is Friday, April 17th, and I'm Vanessa Satut.
And I'm Connor Halton. Advisement and registration, two things that students haven't taken seriously in the past.
What they don't know is that without both, bigger problems could come in the future. ONTV reporter Elena Ciro investigates.
Before the start of each semester, students register for their classes online. Without an advisor guiding them to take the classes required for their degree, students like Maggie Matthews get off track.
People don't understand the importance of advisement before registration. Even after being advised for my classes that I should take, I registered and found out that all my classes were wrong for transferring to Syracuse University.
Alex Cole and the Marketing and New Media Department at OCC are developing new tactics to keep students advised and registered.
Well, yeah, there've been several concerns with it, especially over the past few semesters. We've noticed that it's no secret that our retention numbers are down. So we thought we need to develop a way that we can communicate with students in a way that they understand.
They came up with memes, captioned pictures relatable to students with funny sayings to catch students' attention.
OCC is also offering new incentives for the fall semester. Take a selfie with your OCC schedule. Post it to Instagram with the hashtag #SelfieOCC, and you could be registered to win free books for the fall.
If you plan to transfer to a second institution after OCC, you should go to that institution and ask them for advisement, because they're going to be able to tell you the classes that you should take and exactly what will transfer.
You can find your advisor on Web Access, or you can ask the registrar over at Student Central. In the Gordon Student Center, I'm Elena Ciro for ONTV Update.
The Selfie OCC contest deadline is May 16th, and if you register before then, you could win a full tuition scholarship for this fall.
Syracuse City School District dropout rates are decreasing, all thanks to a nonprofit after-school program. Casey Engel has more.
Since 2008, Say Yes Syracuse, a non-for-profit after-school program, has devoted time, money, and resources for Syracuse City students. The main goal of Say Yes Syracuse is to raise graduation rates for urban students, as well as create a positive attitude towards learning.
For us, it's a lot of social-emotional development. They get the academics, but I think we focus more on the social-emotional development so that they have the tools to learn in a group setting.
Through an extended day program, teachers like Miss Jessica provide an extra 2 hours of project-based enrichment curriculum that combines traditional academic subjects like math and English with hands-on learning in classes like filmmaking and world culture.
A lot of them don't have the opportunity to have the extra help at home, so when they stay for the extra 2 hours, they have the chance to get everything finished, and if there's any questions or anything that they have, it all gets answered after school.
Whether it's just finishing up some homework or hanging out with friends, Say Yes helps keep you on track for graduation. Say Yes has given out more than $2.5 million in Say Yes scholarships. More than $43 million has been raised to create a positive change in the lives of urban youth. For ONTV Update, I'm Casey Engel.
Nearly 2,000 Say Yes students have enrolled in 2- and 4-year colleges since the fall of 2009.
Earlier this month, Governor Andrew Cuomo signed off the 2015 New York State budget. Some of the highlights include a $1.5 billion upstate revitalization program, anti-poverty initiatives for Rochester, Syracuse, and Binghamton, support for Fort Drum, student loan relief, and $50 million to transform the state fairgrounds. The budget is not without its critics, as some controversial education reform legislation was bundled into the budget. These reforms have been strongly opposed by teachers due to the changes in how their job performance is evaluated.
Students will be completely devoted to studying for finals. ONTV Update's Alexis Cabrera spoke with some straight A students for grade A tips on dominating one of the most feared weeks of the semester.
The pressure to keep grades up in the few weeks before final exams can be stressful. Bertina Bailey, a member of Phi Theta Kappa and the recent recipient of the SUNY Chancellor's Award, says that finding the motivation to study is all about location.
The main thing for me is to be comfortable of where I am. I mostly go in my room, or I'll go into the RA office and where no one can see me or watch me, and I'll be very comfortable. So that would be my tip, is just to make sure you're in a comfortable setting.
So you found the perfect place to study. Maybe you have music playing in the background or your favorite TV show. The next hurdle is concentrating, right? So how long should you be studying to retain the maximum amount of information?
Hour to an hour and a half increments, only because anything longer is going to overload your brain. You want to be able to digest what you're actually reading and really think about it before you start covering more new material.
Although everyone has their methods for preparing for finals week, here are 3 more ways you can prepare for what's to come. Number 1, practice tests. Force yourself to recall information. Number 2, information taken in just before bed is the first to come back to you. Number 3, don't cram. It doesn't work, probably because of all the all-nighters being pulled to do so. From Coulter Library, I'm Alexis Cabrera with your ONTV update.
Bertina Bailey earned a 3.7 GPA and will be attending the National University of Ireland in the fall. Greg Javera maintained a 3.9 and will be pursuing a dual degree in environmental health and neuroscience in 2016.
Most people at some point in their life will suffer from back pain. ONTV's Larry Berg tells us the way we spend a third of our lives may have something to do with it.
Your spine has natural curves to it, but bed surfaces are flat. The way you sleep can be promoting health and healing, or it can be preventing it.
The idea that your spine is straight is true only when you look at it from the front or back. When you see the spine from the side, you'll notice it's nothing but curves. The curves make the spine somewhat springy, so when you walk or run, it doesn't get jarred on every step. Keeping those natural curves produces the least amount of stress.
So less stress on the nervous system is better function in the body. Less stress on the joints means slowing down that degenerative cascade of aging and degenerative change that comes from chronic stress. So there's a lot of good reasons to keep your spine optimally aligned.
That means keeping those natural curves, which may be difficult when you are stretched out on the relatively flat surface of your bed.
If you think about it, we spend around a third of our life sleeping. And in the positions that you're in for a third of your day can put chronic stress on joints.
If you lie on your back, putting a small, round, soft pillow in under your neck can help with alignment, as well as a larger, more firm pillow under your knees. On your side, you'll want a larger pillow to hold your head up from your shoulder, and a large, firm pillow between your knees. No one stays in one position all night, but if you start out in good alignment, you will be more comfortable, get better rest, and move around less.
Dr. Getch recommends a firm mattress, lying on your back or side instead of your stomach, and using strategically placed pillows to improve your sleep posture. At Brighton Hill Chiropractic, I'm Larry Berg for ONTV Update.
According to the American Chiropractic Association, up to 85% of back pain cases are mechanical or non-organic, meaning they are not caused by serious conditions.
Here in Central New York, we're finally getting a taste of some warm weather.
Gardeners from all across the region are itching to break out their green thumbs. Nicole Martino will have more and the weather when we come back. Stay tuned.
My experiences have been amazing. I love my professors. All of the students are super outgoing. We do things outside of class together, which is really great. We go to movies together, we go to lunch together. It's really fun. When you get along with the people that you go to school with, you do better at everything in your life.
It's been a good experience. I've had a lot of fun, did a lot of work, learned about a lot of new things. I learned about hardware, software, basically electronics and computers at a much grander scale, involving both software and hardware. It's a good college. If you are in the technology department or you're in the Whitney building, I would say that's a good place.
My name is Nicholas Holderski, and I am a math science major here at Onondaga Community College. When I first got here, I barely had any driving experience. It was a really great opportunity for me to come down here in the beginning of September, I believe, and it was great for me to drive here every day when the snow started to fly. It's nice having your own car and being able to go out with your friends whenever you want to. I've met some really wonderful people here, and especially for somebody who's a younger driver, somebody who's just learning, it's really just a great experience to have.
They say nothing beats seeing something amazing for the first time. Whether it be a good book you read, or a song you heard, the Barnes & Noble bookstore will make sure to amaze you. Especially if it's your first time. Come visit us today. Visit our website, onondagacc.bncollege.com, for more information.
Welcome back to On TV Update. I'm Vanessa Satut.
And I'm Connor Halton. We now have Nicole Martino with the weather. How's this weekend looking for us, Nicole?
Well, Connor, there's a good chance that we'll see a bit of rain the next couple days, but it's April after all. Right now we're seeing a bit of overcast skies with light intermittent drizzle, but that'll come with a 40% chance of rain later today. According to weather.com, today's high is right around 65 degrees. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high near 63 and a slight chance of showers. But by Sunday morning, those clouds should be mostly cleared out. Monday and Tuesday will be returning to dreary weather, but the temperature will stick around the high 50s for both days. For Wednesday, expect a 50% chance of rain and a high of 54. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm glad for the upturn in the weather, even if it's a little wet at times. Now that spring's finally rolled around, it's time to start breaking out the shovels and mulch for gardening season. But knowing how to prepare your yard for the task ahead can be quite the challenge. Thankfully, there are plenty of local gardeners around who can lend a hand. With warm weather slowly coming back to central New York, it means that gardeners across the area are itching to get planting. Tracy Rubin is no exception.
I hope it dries up so that it can dry and warm so that I can get a head start on gardening, really.
While it may be tempting to get planting right away, Chuck Hafter's employee Dawn Coffin cautions that it might not be the best option.
General rule of thumb is this area, we really can have a frost up to Mother's Day, or even Memorial Day, actually. So second week in May, you can start planting, but just know that if we get a cold night and it drops below, like into the mid-30s, you're gonna have to protect the plants.
Protecting a plant is incredibly easy. Simply put stakes up around it and wrap it in a piece of cloth, which can be anything from scrap material to an old t-shirt. Those looking to see what they can get a jump on are encouraged to survey places they're going to plant for potentially troublesome signs, such as rodent or mole activity. Purchasing seeds to start indoors can also be a good way to ensure your garden gets off to a great start. Most importantly, however, is just to enjoy yourself.
Gardening is really fun, and I think everybody should, even if they just have like a patio tomato or something, they should try it out. It's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually.
These aren't the only thing around your yard that could use a little bit of extra attention this year. A little fertilizer could go a long way for evergreens, which this winter was especially hard on. Be sure to keep those plants healthy, Connor.
Thanks, Nicole. An issue that in this country that doesn't get much national attention is stolen valor. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the topic, is when an American citizen impersonates being a member of the United States military. With me today is veteran Corporal Darren Capriati of the Marine Corps, who was deployed to to Iraq and again in 2008 and again to Afghanistan in 2009. So Darren, what would be your opinion why an American citizen would want to impersonate being part of the military?
I mean, I honestly think it's just they haven't really done anything with their life and they don't get that much attention from people, and then simply putting on a uniform and then getting attention that way and getting thanks and glory and stuff like that.
Okay, what are some of the signs maybe a citizen could tell between a real member and a fake, I guess you would say?
Well, a fake, they're going to wear the camouflage uniform, I mean, but if you look at all the videos on the internet, they wear like tennis shoes with the uniform instead of blousing their boots. Like with the Army, they wear unit patches. They're going to be missing their unit patch or even a rank on there. And specifically, like medals and ribbons just hanging all over their camouflage uniform, which isn't a part of that type of uniform. That's only allowed on the dress uniforms.
Okay, as a retired Marine, how does this issue affect you, knowing that you served overseas and possibly lost some brothers that you were with, that people are impersonating to be a part of the military?
I mean, I think it's really disgusting that people would actually go out there and, do that. And I mean, there's really nothing you can say. It's just something more that you can feel.
If you had a message for those out there pretending to be part of the military, what would you have to say to them?
If I had a chance to say something to them, I mean, I would, I'd probably rip the uniform off their back and make a big deal about it.
All right. Do you think that they do this more for attention or to get benefits from like going out to eat or getting percentage off places, or what's the real motive?
Oh, absolutely. Especially, getting like discounts at places that will, like on Veterans Day, to free meals and lunches and stuff like that, and it's giving people handshakes and stuff, acting like they actually did something, but when they really didn't and they don't deserve it.
Okay, is there any way the military itself can help prevent this issue, or is it just kind of people out there going with it, just one day waking up thinking, hey, I can do this and get away with it?
Well, they can get away with it sometimes, but like we discussed, you have to look how they're dressing and how they're acting, and there actually is a law out there about stolen valor, and you can get jail time for it.
All right. Thank you, Darren, for your services for our country and your time being here with us today.
Thank you.
The Stolen Valor Act was passed in 2013, amending Title 18 of the United States Code, making it illegal to falsely impersonate a military member for tangible benefit.
Caring for a loved one at the end of their life can be extremely challenging. Luckily, there are people who understand and can help. ONTV's Keith McDowell tells us about the services hospice has to offer.
Hospice of CNY provides unparalleled support for families caring for a loved one. The task of caring for a loved one at the end of their life can be extremely difficult. Hospice provides 24/7 support for both patients and their families. In addition to the support offered, they also offer a full year of grief counseling after your loved one passes. Hospice can also provide nurses to come by for hours at a time.
And helped Mom as well, because it gave her somebody to look forward to seeing and some company to have while she was not able to do much.
The social workers and nurses often become an extension of the family. Some staff members had such an impact that Sarah and her family named them in her mother's obituary.
I named the hospice employees in the obituary because they were not just doing their job, they became a part of the family. They were here for me as well as here for Mom, and I felt like anytime I needed anything, I could turn to them, and they became part of my family.
Peace, serenity, and hope are just a few of the benefits that families receive from hospice. This garden on 7th North Street in Liverpool is a small reminder that we all need help sometimes. Helping people is more than a 9-to-5 job, and the staff here at Hospice are on duty 24/7, 365 to answer all of your questions and help ease your concerns.
Remember one time I called them at 3 o'clock in the morning just because Mom was making a funny sound and I was nervous, and a nurse came over and she sat with me and she talked with me and she held my hand.
Many families say one of the most impactful services that Hospice of CNY offers is their personal touch, like this handwritten sympathy letter from members here at Hospice. From Liverpool, New York, for ONTV Update, I'm Keith McDowell.
For more information, visit hospicecny.org or contact your local healthcare provider.
Coming up, the Syracuse Crunch are back in the playoffs.
Do they have what it takes to bring home a Calder Cup? Stay tuned.
I am Jim Spagnola. I am a percussionist. I did a lot of marching band and a lot of percussion ensemble in high school, and I decided to audition here as one of my schools out of high school. The new building is a far cry better than where we were before. The percussion room was about a third of the size of this room, and it also doubled as half the storage we had access to. The percussion studio has a very strong bond between members, and it's a great program to be a part of.
The summer after I graduated from OCC, I came back because there was an EOP program taking students who had just come out of high school and kind of transitioning them into college life. The students lived in the dorms and then they went to classes and then got tutoring. So even after I graduated, I was able to come back and still be involved and help the next class of students be successful. Because even when I went to school afterwards, when I went on for the bachelor's and for the master's, you really don't find like as much support anywhere else as you do at OCC.
I am in the choir. I'm in the concert choir and OCC singers. And Dr. Dari is a great, great, great conductor. He really wants to know you and your personality, where you come from. He just really cares about us, and it shows. As soon as I joined the choir, I was talking to people at the auditions. People here, they're not afraid to say like, hi, my name is, and really get to know you. OCC is like your second home. I really feel like I have a family here.
It's that time again, finals! And after finals, it's Christmas! But before Christmas, it's Christmas shopping! We don't have time to go somewhere far away to do our Christmas shopping, but not to worry, you have the OCC Barnes & Noble College bookstore! Books aren't the only thing you can find here. In fact, there's a gift for everyone. From beautiful warm hoodies of all sizes to new backpacks, shirts of all colors, Christmas gifts, and even supplies for next semester. So don't be a Scrooge this Christmas. Be the life for the holidays. Come down to the OCC bookstore located in the Whitney Atrium. Open normal business hours. See website for details.
Welcome back to On TV Update. I'm Zach George with sports. The Syracuse Crunch are gearing up for their first playoff run since the 2012-2013 season. On TV's Brandon Curtis was at the War Memorial Arena to check in with the postseason-bound team.
The last time the Syracuse Crunch were in the playoffs, they dominated the competition en route to the Cup Finals, where they then came up just 2 wins short of a league title. Sellout crowds rocked the War Memorial in hopes to see the team win their first Calder Cup.
2 years ago when we had that run, when we lost in the finals, this building was, they almost had to tear it down and rebuild it because it was almost shaking to the ground because it was so loud in here.
Crunch forward Eric Nielsen was quick to point out that while their playoff run a few years ago was great, they didn't quite get the job done. He believes that this year's roster has the perfect mix of players to win a championship.
We have a really good makeup. We have a good core group. We have obviously Cote, Angelitas, and myself that won the Calder Cup. Cote winning 2 Calder Cups. He won one with Hamilton too, so he knows what it takes to win. Joey Mormina has played 10 years pro. He's missed the playoffs twice in 10 years. So you go down the list, we have a really good group of core guys.
Not only are the players excited for this playoff run to be, but the fans that have filled this War Memorial since 1994 are especially anxious to watch their Crunch team hopefully bring home a Calder Cup title.
I really think it means a lot for the city. I mean, we need to prove to the world that not only are we basketball champs, we're dominant in every sport.
And the Crunch will get their chance to prove just that in the Calder Cup playoffs getting underway next week. From the War Memorial Arena for On TV Update, I'm Brandon Curtis.
The Crunch host the Adirondack Flames tonight, and then tomorrow they end their regular season against the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. both nights. And it's almost that time to bust out that driver as golf season is about to take full swing. The snow is almost melting and hopefully isn't coming back, as the Pompey Club and other golf courses around Syracuse are beginning to thaw out. Pompey opened its front 9 to start their season on Wednesday and hopes to get the ball off the tee. But the whole process for this year, prepping the course, is taking a bit longer than usual.
Well, it starts in the fall. We put down chemicals to treat the golf course to protect it over the winter.
so that when we get out in the spring, we come out and the grass looks green like you see it here. We always set April 1 for our opening date, and in the last 23 years I've been here, we've always made that or exceeded it. This year, with the winter we've had though, this is by far the latest we've ever opened here.
And the chemical they use prevents snow mold, which can be harmful to the course. Stanley says it's all about using as little chemical as possible, enough to maintain the course, but also keep the environment safe. The full 18 should be ready to go by the beginning of next week. And when having an undefeated season, it's easy for the women's lacrosse team to become complacent. ONTV Update's Emmanuel Henderson gives us an in-depth look on how the team stays motivated.
The Lady Lasers are having one great year. They're downright dominating teams at an 8-0 record, and they're averaging a whopping 22 points per game. But they only give up 2. See for yourself.
Beating Herkimer by 22 goals and shutting out Niagara by 29, the success comes from head coach Tom McDonald, who keeps the players' minds in the right place.
Some of the things we try and do is shorten practice during the course of the year, have some team bonding things that we do, and just a variety of things to keep that long, monotonous season going.
Coach McDonald was hired in the fall of 2011. In 2012, he won a national championship. Since arriving at Onondaga, he keeps the women's lacrosse team top-notch with an 852 winning percentage. Now, the reason why the Lasers are so good is because of the camaraderie that the team has. Defensive midfielder Jen Duell is a newcomer on this team, and they made her feel like a sister and the family mattered.
I wasn't on the lacrosse team, but I decided to play this year since they have a family aspect, and they're very good, so I decided to try it, and I really love it, and I'm happy I made that decision.
Be sure to keep an eye out for the Lasers as they're the second-ranked team in the nation and chasing another national championship. I'm Emmanuel Henderson, ONTV Update.
And be sure to catch the Lasers here at Murphy Field on Saturday as they take on undefeated Monroe Community College at 2 p.m.
So Zach, the men's team is also undefeated, 12-0 on the season, and tomorrow they're looking for their 100th career consecutive victory. Do you think they have what it takes to make it in the triple digits?
Well, they're playing Monroe Community College. They're 8-5 on the season, so they're not as hot as past years. Actually, Monroe has been a little better, but you got to remember the Lasers are outscoring their opponents 305-36. So I think it's safe to say you'll see the big 100.
I think so too.
Well, thank you, Zach. A cultural staple of Armory Square is shutting its doors.
But don't worry, it's just moving half mile away. Charles Curran reports on the growth at the Red House when we come back.
I love the new music wing we have here at Onondaga.
I love the small class sizes.
I love the affordability.
I love the convenience.
Career opportunities.
The diversity.
Our campus.
The great community. I love Onondaga.
I love Onondaga.
I love Onondaga.
I love Onondaga.
I'm a human services major with a concentration in social work. I love my major because it is giving me the skills and abilities and knowledge to be able to help people in crisis. The academics are great. They're challenging. Choir is great because you are with music majors and non-music majors, and we all come together to make music. Dr. Rodari is very good at making you feel listened to, and he obviously cares. He is interested in you, not just as a student, but you as a human being.
The OCC Bistro is a full-service dining area operated by Onondaga's culinary students. Lunch is served every Thursday.
Each student gets hands-on experience working every restaurant position from chef to host.
With an elegant dining room and a professional culinary kitchen, the Bistro provides an excellent atmosphere for OCC students to perfect their skills.
Why not visit us next Thursday for lunch?
The OCC Bistro in the Gordon Building next to Starbucks.
So since I've started at OCC, I've seen an immense improvement in my photography work.
All the teachers at OCC are very professional in the way they teach and in the way they handle the classroom. In my basic photography class, the teacher really encouraged hands-on work. You know, because of the photography program at OCC, I have something to look forward to.
Starting tonight at 8, you can catch David Mamet's scolding comedy, Glengarry Glen Ross, being performed at the Central New York Playhouse. Mamet is at his best here. Tickets for the 8 o'clock show are $20.
If movies are more your thing, the 2015 Salt City Horror Fest returns to the Palace Theater this Saturday. The doors open at 11 a.m. Some of the films being streamed this year are Poltergeist, Beetlejuice, and Creepshow. The event also features special guests like live comedy and cosplay contests. Tickets are $25 at the door.
Instead of horror flicks this Saturday, you can take a hike, a nature hike, out in Cortland. At 10 a.m., a Lime Hollow naturalist will lead you through one of their monthly themed hikes. Admission is free, but donations are appreciated.
Head down to Urban Life this Sunday where they'll be holding the Yelp Community Event Fit Plus food. You can try healthy foods from Fit to Fork, avocado, and beauty bites. There will also be some beginner level activities to help burn off those calories. The event is free, just make sure to RSV on yelp.com.
The Red House Arts Center is moving. It's becoming bigger and better.
On TV Updates, Charles Curran tells us the goal is to make the Red House a centerpiece of the revitalization of downtown Syracuse.
The Red House is a nonprofit arts center that opened its doors in July of 2004. Over the past 11 years, the Red House has experienced tremendous growth, so much so that it is moving and expanding. Relocating just under half a mile east of its current location on Southwest Street to the historic Sibley's Department Building between Salina and Clinton Streets, the Red House will be renamed Red House at City Center. Managing Director Samara Hanna says the Red House's mission is to bring arts to the community and building a relationship between the two.
It's about bettering a community. It's not about putting Red House up on a pedestal and saying we're great, we're this big organization. There's no ego attached to that. It's really all about it's building community through the arts, and that's really at the center of all that we do.
The Red House at City Center will expand to over 46,000 square feet. Included in the new space will be 2 new theaters, 2 independent foreign movie theaters, rehearsal rooms, common space gallery, and classrooms.
The hope is that sometime this spring we'll start to see some activity happening, and then, maybe within a year we could be in the space.
Upcoming shows at the Red House include Seussical the Musical, Footloose musical movie Mania, and the classic Carousel by Rodgers and Hammerstein. From the Red House, for ONTV Update, I'm Charles Curran.
Seussical the Musical will be performed at the Red House from April 13th to May 17th. For tickets, visit theredhouse.org.
If you love watching movies, then you'll love the OCC Film Club. Jesse Milowitz grabs his popcorn to see what goes on at the meetings.
When the lights go off, the viewing begins at the OCC Film Club. Each week, fellow movie buffs meet to view and discuss different films.
OCC Film is a group on campus which allows students to watch cinema other than Hollywood, more into genres that they wouldn't see every other day.
The film being viewed is collectively decided by the members during the previous meeting. These can range from biopics and silent films to indie films and even anime. This week, the club watched the British-American biographical film, The Elephant Man. The discussion after the film is one of the most important parts of the film club. There are 6 to 9 members that form the core of the club. New members are mostly recruited through the word of mouth.
Actually, I found out from Shelby and Anissa. They said, hey, you should join the film club. So I decided to, give it a shot, and here I am now.
This club is for anyone with an interest in the film industry, aspiring voice actors, critics, and those who just love watching movies for the fun of it. From Mawinee Hall, I'm Jesse Milowitz, ONTV Update.
If you'd like to join the film club, meetings are Tuesdays at 4:45 in room 188 of Mawinee Hall.
The worst drought in over 1,200 years in California has some far-reaching effects. Late last month, Governor Jerry Brown put a water restriction in effect for the first time ever, ordering all businesses and citizens to reduce consumption by 25%. With California generating much of our nation's crops, this water shortage has already resulted in some higher produce costs. According to data collected by NASA, the Golden State currently has only 1 year's worth of water stored in its reservoirs.
It's that time of year again. It's the time for the New York Beef Culinary Competition. Find out how one OCC student from the hospitality program is getting ready for the big competition. Last year was OCC's first year at the competition, and they won. This year, they're back at it and hoping to win again. The hospitality department usually selects 3 students to go to the competition and represent OCC. This year, Jessica Tobias got the opportunity to go.
I'm nervous to compete, but I'm really excited to be going and have this opportunity.
To prepare for this exciting event, the students run through a series of practice drills with Chef Eric Rose helping them.
Well, we have a featured item, which is a ribeye steak, and we need to come up with an appetizer and an entree for this competition. So we've been working hard, shooting around ideas and trying different stuff, and put together 2 great dishes that we think will be winners.
Here's a diagram of the example appetizers. As you can see, the appetizers will be placed into these glasses and then served to the judges as samplers. What would winning mean to Jessica Tobias?
I think that would be great because it would just show that we're more than a community college.
The event takes place today. The winning team will be awarded a scholarship of $2,000, which will be divided by the students who participated. Hopefully, OCC walks away as champion once again.
Some students can't make it to a food pantry, but they still need help. OCC has a pantry of their own that is open to students. John Einich has more.
Here at OCC, they thrive to help their campus community in any way possible. One way is by having a food pantry on the campus for anyone who needs it.
99% have been students, but it's open to faculty and staff also. It's open to anyone. We don't turn anyone away. Not so much qualifying when you come in. All students, we have them, there's a food pantry intake form that we want them to fill out.
Students that come in are asked to fill out an online intake form. They don't care who they are, they just want to know in what other ways they can assist the student. Does the student live on campus or off campus? What ways do they have to prepare their meals? Do they have access to a stove or a refrigerator?
The food is received by donations from faculty, staff, students, and also the foundation. Gotta say, again, that 99% of the students have been very, very thankful that the food pantry is here, very thankful that people do give, because we want them to be successful. It's hard to be successful if you're hungry.
The OCC Food Pantry is located in the ground level floor of the Gordon Center in room G112. There's a sign outside the door to indicate its whereabouts, hours of operation, and days. At OCC, I'm John Einich for ONTV Update.
The pantry is looking for food donations. If you have anything to donate, donation bins are located all over campus. Nicole is back in the studio with us now. What's the weather looking like for the weekend?
Well, we can expect it to get increasingly better as the weekend goes on. Aside from some showers we might experience later today, the outlooks are actually pretty good. It'll get as high as the mid-60s, but by nightfall, the temperature will drop down to 45 degrees. Saturday will be mildly sunny, but watch out for a 10% chance of rain. By Sunday, you'll be able to put your umbrella away because we'll be seeing a high near 59 and just a touch of cloud cover.
Okay, nice. Maybe we'll actually be out there in golf this Sunday if it's warm enough.
Hoping so.
Well, from all of us here at ONTV Update, thank you for watching.
Have a great weekend, Syracuse.